Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Man, no trades today on the day. Today was actually super interesting. There was two potential entries you could have taken today. Actually, three entries. I'm going to go over all of those right now. But yeah, today was a crazy expansion day. As you guys can see, market opened, right here. We took out that major low, that major area of sell side here on NQ. After taking out that major area of sell side, right, we're then bullish into the morning. Boom. We had this 4-hour gap right here, basically, that overnight got inversed, right? We also had this 1-hour gap right here that overnight got inversed. So going into market open, which was right here, we were super bullish into the day, right? Obviously, we came down, took out a major draw on liquidity, okay, meaning we can expect a reversal from this point. And then as we can see, after we bottomed out right around this area, we ended up trending higher. Once again, disrespecting bearish PD rays, showing that price wants to go higher to where the next draw. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck, right? Market opened right here. I did not expect us to go all the way to this draw here, which was 400 points, but we did. So that was interesting, and I adapted to that throughout the session. However, I didn't take a trade today. Without wasting anyone's time, right, I'm going to go over the first trade of the day, which I saw but I did not take. This was a 5-minute continuation right here. This was a crazy pattern trade, right? You can see price goes higher, forms that 5-minute gap. All right, we have all these draws on the left here, that being our major draw. We have a retrace, boom, into that 5-minute. We then can see right here, right, 7 a.m. then opens. So if I can go back in time, show you guys. We can see this candle right here is like my big indicator candle, right? We can see 7 a.m. opens right here. We go lower, form that wick, form that high, boom, just like this. So one thing I want to note is that you can't expect a 4-hour candle, the 4-hour PO3, to distribute off a low time frame gap, especially with the fact that we have LR built up below, right there. Boom. And adding to this fact, right below, right here, right below your entry, if you were to take this, we have an unfilled 15-minute. Okay, so this is a very, very clear pattern trade. Doesn't matter, right? Let's get this back here. Doesn't matter that it worked out today, because majority of the time taking this trade, it's not going to work out. It doesn't even make sense logically that you would take a 5-minute continuation and we have a 15-minute gap right below. So this is the trade I'm talking about right here. We can see, right, today it did play out, but the probability of this trade is extremely low due to the fact that we have 7 a.m. 7 a.m. has yet to manipulate. We're instead distributing currently, and what we can normally expect to happen is for this to occur into a stop hunt, us to take out the lows, tap into this 15-minute gap, then get an entry. This is what I was looking for. Boom. So the fact that we ended up distributing off this 5 today is very, very lucky. However, right, once again, this was a super low probability position entry due to the fact that we had that N15 at your stop loss, along with the LR, along with 7 a.m. failing to manipulate into anything. We quite literally, in this whole move up, are just adding to the LR in the move and have not yet manipulated. So to take a continuation without manipulation with a 15-minute below is super low probability. So that trade ended up playing out. Okay, whatever. Right, then we go into the next potential opportunity. The potential opportunity I'm referring to is this 15-minute gap right here. So we can see right on NQ, we neared the major draw on liquidity, which were these stacked highs, then formed a 15-minute gap, just like that, boom. However, to take an entry off this 15-minute gap wouldn't be the best position in general, due to the fact that, right, we're already super overextended into the move. We can consider this gap being in a fat premium. we literally have had like no retraces for the entire day. So after moving up right from the bottom 700 points, to expect us to distribute off a 15-minute gap, especially in a fat premium, when ES, as you can see here, has already taken out the draw and multiple draws above. ES is also overextended, NQ is also very overextended. It's just not a good position to take. And then so the logic there doesn't even make sense, right? To take a premium 15 like this. Then going down to the 1 minute, this is where looks even more shit. We have right, price goes up, retraces into the gap. You could look for some form of, you can look for an inversion off like a 2-minute gap right here, but you'd have to see us quite literally like go like this, and then that's like all right. But even then, the narrative isn't there. I still wouldn't enough taking this play. If you see here, we also have double no wicks on the bottom, and price tends to take out double no wicks. So I was really just expecting this 50-minute to fail just due to the higher time frame narrative, us being in a premium, us being overextended. We can see price then fucks around, which then shows it's really shit. And then we end up getting, boom, one candle that takes us a little bit higher. This is already super bad due to the fact that we have those no wick candles. We then built up LR below your stop, right? We are obviously not continuing that momentum, and you do not want to see us slow down tapping into a 15-minute gap near a draw. You want to see us continue that momentum, and after we tap, you want to see us just go fucking right away. So some people may have taken that. We also did have a 4-minute gap, so if you trade the way I trade, you have to wait for the highest time frame inversion in the manipulation leg, and in this case, it was a 4-minute gap, which we can see right here. So if you took this 4-minute gap, it's also a bad entry due to the fact that, right, something like this. Number one, not the best RR, but that's really not that big of an issue. The major issue is the fact that we had that closure, and ES already took that high. So you put in a bearish SMT on NQ. We already took it on ES, means we're targeting high resistance on NQ. Going down to the 1 minute, even though we had that 4-minute inversion right here, if you look at the 1 minute, it just looks like total shit. Super slow, super bad reaction out to 15. Nothing about this was good. And then it fails, obviously. So after this fails, right, we then actually print a 30-minute gap. So at this point I got off because it was super late, but if you were still trading, this was definitely something to be taken right here. So after failing, right, this 15-minute, we then form a 30 below. Price then, right, retraces into the 30-minute gap. So we have, right, a more measured retrace at this point. We have, LR being built up right here. We have one stop hunt, right? Stop hunt 1, stop hunt 2, boom, right? Respecting, also in the leg, 50%, unmitigated 30, draw above. ES doesn't look the best at this point, but this one isn't as bad. This is better than the 15-minute, and we can see this one actually pans out. It was just super late in the session. It was like 8 a.m., and I never trade this late, so I thought I'd just hop off. We can see here there's multiple 2-minute gaps. There's a 3-minute gap. Okay, I guess the 4 minutes not loading. But the main thing you have to take a note is in this right here, because this is, right, once again, the lows. Then we have another stop. So from this point, you could just look for CISD realistically, and you'd probably be good. So your next candle comes around, boom, gives you that CISD. Take this as your entry. Stop loss at the lows. Take profit at these equal highs right here. And I think it's multiple equal highs. So that'll give you a nice 1 to 2, 6 risk reward. And that trade, go break even right here. get out break even. So that's that trade. Once again, right, just you don't want to be trading past 8 a.m. Pacific time. Even though this trade looked decent, there was still shit delivery even after we had all these candles towards the upside. It's just not something you want to see. So this was an easy day to fade. I want to pat myself on the back for not taking a trade today. Stay disciplined in my approach, and I want to keep the same energy going into tomorrow. That's all we can do. So yeah, if you took an L today, I'll reflect on today's price action, what I talked about in this video, learn from it, grow from it, and come back tomorrow stronger, come back tomorrow with a new mindset, journal, and fucking let's get to that bag, boys. Hope everyone has a great day, and catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.